Thank you, Steve. Firstly, I would like to say that I will be very brief because I'm anxious to hear Camille Norment, as you probably all are, and she'll be talking after we finish. Her work is very inspiring. Also, it's very important for our programs because they are multidisciplinary, as her work is, and multisensory in a way, and they also relate to art history, which is very important for a program here in Florence. So I thank her for coming, and I of course thank SACI for having invited her. As the director of the master program in Fine Arts and Studio Art, I would like to first say a few words about the program and then briefly mention our students. Basically, that's the aim of my intervention. Then my esteemed colleague, Daria Filardo, will then introduce the other two graduating Studio Art students, and the directors of the MFA in photography will follow up with the photographers. I have to say that this is the first time that I'm participating in the commencement of this MFA program. It has been a real pleasure to join this marvelous team and to be able to help to build an even better program. I asked President Steve Brittan to transmit my thanks and salute to Jules Madoff, the inventor of SACI. I think the word inventor is kind of even more appropriate than the creator, because it's something that has to be invented. It's something out of this world. Without Jules, we wouldn't be here tonight, of course. Then I would like to publicly thank all the team that helped me to work and to kind of try to lead this program this year. Dean David Davidson, the 2D area head Gary Lisa, and all the instructors that have worked individually with each student. On this occasion, I would like also to remember my predecessor in this role, Karen Jugovic, who by her work contributed to the program to be what it is today, and certainly contributed a lot for the education of this group of students which is graduating today. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the students that had to put up with me during this year, and sometimes it's not easy, as we know, but you made my job very, very pleasurable. Speaking about students, I would like then to follow up by mentioning Megan to start with. Megan Sweeney was a brilliant student, and she is already a very good and professional artist. At the same time, she is very intuitive and has a very strong visual culture, which is difficult to combine in the same person. And she has an excellent knowledge about the world of contemporary art. She knows all the artists. I mean, she knows, she has seen everything. I said she's very intuitive because her work is deeply personal. Its roots are embedded in her very personal feelings. Because her art pieces are personal, as they used to say in the 1968, they have also become political, but in a direct and non-ideological way that mobilizes and affects us all. As an artist, Sweeney is always experimenting with different and apparently irreconcilable techniques and trying to combine them all in a way that has an added impact upon our senses. I mean, it's not just experimenting with the different techniques, but always mobilizing and having an added impact on our senses. Her work ranges from the traditional techniques mostly associated with the past of feminine labor to the new twists of multisensory art. Megan, who adapted incredibly well also to Europe and to our way, I say our because I'm a European, of course, our way of living is in the contemporary art to stay and thrive, I'm sure. Then, finally, I would try to... Thank you. I would try to speak about Meredith. Meredith Taylor is a very intelligent and articulate young woman. She is also a very strong human being with a deep sense of ethics, which I very much appreciate. That's why I invited her to be the teaching assistant in the first year, which I haven't regretted for 1 minute. I'm very happy about that decision. It was one of the good decisions I did this year. She kind of distrusts contemporary art, and for this, she relies on her life experience, of course, and has probably very good reasons to do that. Despite of this mistrust, she has completed the Studio Art program with great success by relying on very good and solid teachers and learning a lot from them. I'm glad that my colleagues, Roberta Lapucci from Conservation, and the drawing and who is not here today, unfortunately, because she's out of the country, and drawing and sculpture teacher John Taylor and painter Francesco Loretta, who I have already seen. I'm glad that they can be here and won't let me lie about this. She can achieve whatever objective she really wants. I must say that from my experience, after complaining a lot, of course, always, she has been always the first one to complete all of her assignments. In the future, I'm sure she can eventually persevere as an artist, eventually, or drift away from this sometimes very uncomfortable role, occupying a more indirect, but maybe even more powerful one in the art world. Who knows? Well, I'm sure Meredith knows, but I'm not sure if she will tell us. Thank you.